Okay, well, let's get started. We are, who should I do first? Sewing Machines Express, Windmill Sewing Center, and Quilters Art HQ. The websites are QHQ2.com, windmillsewingcenter.com, and quiltershq.com. We do this every Tuesday from 6 to 7 Central. So I've got the block all cut out. The cutting is not bad, but let's go ahead and get started because there is a little bit of piecing here.
Hey Donna, how are you tonight?
To do the roof, you've got this larger piece, and I've already drawn lines on the fabric because I can't sew straight without drawing them. So you could also use your tool to actually crease a line in there. I drew mine because, well, that's what I do. And also, I'm going to introduce you to this little widget. And this is a guide. This is made by Doohickey. It goes with their TL machines. Not sure about the TL 2000. Might not work with that one. But I think it does work with, well, I know it works with the TL 18 because it has the little circle on it that you can use it. But this, if you struggle with your quarter-inch machine and you have this machine, this is worth it. These are $17.99, and I'll show you how it works in just a minute. But first, let's just sew these. So we're just going to attach them right here. Just make sure we're lined up really well. And we are getting spring rain today. They actually tested out the emergency response system for the tornadoes today. Okay, and I just want to make sure I'm laying it out because I lost a piece. There it is. My roof has the right angles, so they're going this way. Okay. And then we're going to take our ruler and just cut these off. And so there's the slope of our roof. And you don't really have to be exact when you're cutting these, but I have the ruler out, so why not? Did everybody get caught up when we were gone last week? What's that?
You already got the color of the month?
I did.
So we were giving away some Branson AQS show tickets. Somebody refreshed my memory. Somebody was supposed to message Carrie or something. I want to go to Branson. Anybody remember?
I think that was in the last stream they had to comment.
They had to comment in the last stream. Okay, so these are just rubbish, so we're just gonna throw those off to the sides. Next step on this one is making the windows. And so I'm going to sew, these are two of the longer windows, and then the darker pink is for the door. So we're not going to mess with that one yet.
So did we have a winner then?
I don't know.
That's Carrie.
Is Carrie on?
Yeah, but she said no one's messaged her, so.
Okay.
Okay, so this doohickey is a T-gauge, is what it's called. And you actually bolt it to your machine for that quarter-inch machine. And I've got the screws. Some machines come with these. I know the Bernina machines do. Some of them. Depends on which model you get. And this just screws on right here. And there's 2 screws because you don't want it to turn. And before I start tightening this up, I'm going to raise my foot. I'm going to slide my little ruler right up next to it, and then lower my needle just a little bit so that I can see exactly where that 1/4 inch is. And then I'm just going to tighten these down. I use one of these at home when I'm piecing, and my seams look great. So just like a carpenter, all of our tools help us get perfect seams. You know, measure twice, cut once.
For sure.
I don't
Anna
think
said
there's...
she had one of those on her old Singer.
Yep. Old machines have them. Old Singers have them. My featherweight has it.
Miranda, how are you tonight?
I like the needle threader and the cutter too much to sew on the old featherweight.
You know what? So Carrie just maybe just had to pick out of that thing a winner.
Sorry?
And we're just going to give away 2 more.
Okay.
How's that sound?
And to check, you can just lay your 1/4 inch right on that seam, and it lines up perfect except for my little wiggle, but perfect every time. I like this because sometimes when you have those feet that have the little piece of aluminum, you can actually push on your fabric and that aluminum will move out a little bit, and you think you're getting a 1/4 inch seam and it's not quite right.
Somebody said, will that work on a featherweight?
I don't know the answer to that question.
They probably have one for it.
I would actually look on like eBay for featherweight accessories.
Hey, Peggy from South Carolina.
Or actually,
John's sister.
there is a featherweight guy that usually comes to the Kansas City Regional Quilt Festival.
He usually goes all to learn to a lot of the shows.
Yep. And he might have one to fit your machine. The only thing I don't know is if the screws will fit. The screws that bolted on will fit on your featherweight. Okay, so there's one. Let's do the other one. Same thing. And then we'll do our door. And I'm just making sure that I got all my pieces, because this one, I'm determined to get through this block with no mistakes. Stay with me on it.
What's the name of that tool?
It's called a T-gauge.
T-gauge. Is that what the T-dash gauge?
Nope, just T space gauge, and gauge is one of those hard ones. G-A-U-G-E. They are $17.99 if you have a TL18. I don't know about the 2010 if it has. I don't think the 2010 has the little, I don't know what they call that. It's the little round thing that accessories bolt into. But that is one thing I like about these machines, is you get access to the industrial feet, and you can use, did I just do that right? Yep, I did. Okay. We're still on track. We're still good. What you got? Oh, 2 AQS tickets. Okay, so there is 2 of our window columns. And we need our middle one with the door. That one gets a 2-inch square.
Hey Debbie, how are you?
Well, this was not the night. I tried, folks, but
Seam ripper!
fortunately it's just a small seam. And this, do we have these back in stock? We had them before.
We'll check.
Okay. Yep. So close.
Seam snips.
Okay.
We should have them in stock.
Okay. Right sides together. Let's try that again. Much better. Then this white piece, or not white piece, this pink piece. And the last little 1.5 by 2.5 inch piece. Right sides together. So does everybody remember the movie, The Breakfast Club? I think her name is Ali Sheely or Ali Sheen? Sheely? Is that right? So she drew the picture where they're in detention, and she drew the picture of the bridge, and then she scratched her head and the dandruff fell down like snow. We were sitting in the airport last night, and I was just rubbing my head, my forehead, and it was peeling so bad. It looked like snow coming down on my shirt, and I had a black jacket on. It was bad.
Hey Ruth.
Okay, so the next step is to attach these little side pieces here.
Peggy says the 2010 has the holes for the gauge.
The 2010, thank you, Peggy.
She double checked. For us, thank you.
Okay. On the two sides. Does make it really nice for piecing, because then all of your pieces just perfectly fit together.
And you can speed sew.
And you can speed sew because you don't have to worry about stuff moving. Press this open. And then we've got this little piece down here that goes on. But let's piece this one next because we're piecing the same pieces.
That's a lot of pieces.
Very clever. But we did have a great time on vacation. We did think about all of you when we were traveling on Tuesday. Hoping that you were having fun, getting caught up on your sewing.
There's always funny stories, too. Always funny stories.
Yeah, our flight out was delayed.
It started about 1:15 in the morning. we had a 5 a.m. flight, and it got canceled, or it got moved, basically, to like 5:30. Then it went to like 8. Then it went to like 10, which there's only a certain number of flights to where we were going, and we had to be on that flight at 10. There's only one flight per day.
Yep.
So we missed it. So then we
Missed the
said,
connecting
okay, well, it's 5 o'clock in the morning with the airline, and we said, well, what do we do? Do we try this again in the morning, or do we go to Miami and wait and get a hotel there? So we went to Miami.
We were feeling the warm weather.
And found us a little hotel there, and you know, I just thought I'd get a shower, you know, because you know you're traveling all day and you have what I call like a travel goop on you or something. I don't know what it is.
Airport funk.
Okay, it's airport funk. So I'm in the shower, and the building fire alarm goes off. Okay. Guess that shower's not going to keep going. And they're yelling on the phones, evacuate the building, evacuate the building.
So he wasn't standing outside naked.
No, I wasn't. I spared everyone that.
This piece goes in the middle
Or in
there.
a towel. And there were some guys out there who've been traveling or been staying for quite some time. They're airline pilot, and their engineer stuff. And they said, oh, hey, is the sprinklers going off? I said, no. And they said, well, last night someone hung their towel on the sprinkler thing and it broke, and so the sprinklers all went off in the hotel. So I said, well, I'm glad I missed that.
Well, they go off with some force, too.
They do.
Dump a whole lot of gallons on you all at once.
So everyone wanted our review of the new KCI airport, and it's very nice. It's very large, accommodating, pretty easy to get in and out of. It was pretty nice. So, a few more restaurants and stores there, which was kind of nice. So
there are some things I don't think they thought through when they were designing the airport. So the causeway, is that what the right word, causeway? What goes between the airplane and the terminal? Is that a causeway? Somebody let me know. That's what I'm going to call it. Those are glass. And in Kansas, in July, it's like the devil's armpit. It's hot.
It can get a little warm.
So those things are going to be really toasty with the sun baking you. And, you know, when you go to get on a plane, it might take you 5-10 minutes.
It can. We were stranded in Miami for a little bit last night. So you had to sit there and you got to wait your turn, right?
Yep.
And it's like a stoplight. It takes a while sometimes. It gets a little warm on there. Even with the little air thing blowing on you.
Through the causeway? I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, just a little air in your seat.
Yeah.
It's a little warm.
So yeah, our vacation was great. The flights was a little bit of
A little
drama.
challenging.
But it can be that way traveling sometimes.
It can.
Okay, so we've got like our little windows here. So you should have 2 of these sections, just like this.
Those are cool.
And then you're going to attach the middle section. Actually, this is taking less time than I thought it was going to be. And only one little snafu.
Oh,
Or is it a
that's
gangway?
horrible.
Well, I know in the Marine Corps it's called, well, that's not a boat, a gangway. But I think they call it the same thing for the planes.
Patty was saying that her Laura's apartment in Springfield had the pipe of the sprinkler system burst during the frigid temps.
Oh.
And it flooded the first floor of the apartments. 1 a.m. Now that's a wake up that you don't want to get. cold shower, frigid temperatures, and get woke up by the sprinkler system.
That's a bad day.
Thank you for sharing. That was a pretty rough go.
When I was in the Marine Corps, it was like Sunday night, right? So Sunday night, getting up, and at this particular base, work started at 7 a.m. because we were in the desert, and we got out at 3 because it was so hot. It would be 110, 112. So we started early. So Sunday night, it was like, 2 o'clock in the morning, and we had an earthquake. And it was enough to wake everybody off, set off the fire alarm. Nothing happened like that, but it woke everybody up. We had to go stand out and wait for the fire department to come and make sure that there was no fire. And so then the following Monday, they actually did set the barracks on fire. Somebody, it's the Marine Corps. They're Department of the Navy, and so they don't have their own budget. So we had these old dryers, and somebody put their uniforms in this dryer.
Oh, gosh.
The cami uniform, and let it go, but somehow the shutoff for this was broken, so it actually didn't turn off. So these camis just turned and turned and turned. It's like 2:30 in the morning. The smoke, it didn't go off. The fire alarm did not go off this time. And so the duty NCO is like this guy that he stays awake 24 hours, to guard the barracks, and they actually call it fire watch. So the barracks were on fire, the laundry room. And so we got to get up again and go down and stand outside and wait for the fire department to give the all clear so we could go back to bed at like 4 in the morning to be up by 7. And then the following Monday.
So your pants were on fire, huh?
It was not my pants.
Somebody's pants were on fire.
So the following Monday, it was just kind of weird because, 2:30 in the morning, the duty NCO, the guy that's doing the fire watch, different guy this time, comes knocking on the doors. And so they have people that are in charge of each floor, right? So they have what they call a deck NCO. And so he's knocking on my door because I was the NCO for the women's floor. And he's like, hey, there's a bomb threat. You have to evacuate the barracks. So it was somebody had called the officer of the day and said there was a bomb in our barracks. So we all had to leave like 2 o'clock in the morning. And we have bomb dogs in the base, but there was some championship competition that our dog was participating in. So we had to helicopter a dog from Fort Irwin, which is it's about a 3-hour drive, so it's an hour flight. Plus the dog was grumpy because, he has to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, you don't want to get up.
So some days
it's just that way, right?
It's just that way, and you just got to roll with it. But our flights kind of reminded me of that period where it was like, everything's just going a little bit wonkers. Block 12, actually pretty easy. We finished that with stories in a half an hour. So
super quick on that one.
I know, easy peasy block. So as always, check your thread path, change your needle, and oil your hook. Please, before you bring your machine in for spa day.
Spa treatment.